have some prepared questions from fans on my social media. Are you ready to answer some questions from them?
Oh yeah, you bet. I'm not afraid.
Solace Sui from Twitter wants to know, were there any underground bands worth checking out that influenced or inspired you when writing songs on Verminous?
An old classic band that's been forgotten by time, Sins of Omission. Uh, really look to that record for like cool patterning ideas, and in a way, they're like kind of musical brethren for BDM, but from a whole different time and era. Yeah, definitely check out Sins of Omission. The album is The Creation. It's really killer.
DevilSpeak Band, a band from South Africa on Twitter asks, how did you enjoy the South African experience here just before lockdown everywhere?
It was awesome. I mean, there was still that like looming kind of fear of what was to come with the lockdown kind of happening while we were away. The experience itself was incredible. People were really kind and really, really excited to see us. You know, like, we never thought we'd get out there. They never thought we'd get out there. So it was kind of like making good on years of seeing South Africa in our social media feeds and stuff. You know, I knew the fans were there, just didn't know how to get to them.
Yeah, metal's just everywhere now. It's you find your fans everywhere you go, basically, when you get to a certain point.
Yeah, that's like one of the most amazing things about it, man. It's just like it defies like class, it defies like language. It's just something that brings us all together. You know, it's great.
Yeah. Trend Crusher from Twitter. What are your Desert Island albums?
It's got to be Megadeth, Rust in Peace. I'll probably take Countdown to Extinction as well. That was my first like big metal record as a kid,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that just like blew my doors off, man. Like that made me want to be a metalhead. And Autopsy, Mental Funeral, Suffocation, Pierce from Within, Carcass, Necroticism, Morbid Angel, Blessed Are the Sick, Death, Symbolic, maybe Human too. It's kind of a hard call for me between those two. Yeah, I could survive on those records alone, I think.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like you got a fair few for the island there. That's good. Justin Stormland from Twitter wonders, what's your beer of choice these days?
I'm just down for the cheap Mexican beer right now, like a Modelo, Pacifico, or something like that, man. I like also sours. I've had a real like really hankering for sour beers lately.
Hmm. Skater Taylor from Instagram says, your records always look so cool. I'd love to know your favorite album covers.
All right, so like Dismember like an ever flowing stream, which obviously had some influence on Verminous's cover. That's one of my favorites. Necrophobic Dark Side, which was a huge influence on the cover for Nocturnal. What else? Autopsy, Mental Funeral again. I really love that cover. I think it's unique, the kind of weird mutant monster there. Yeah, I mean, I love death metal artwork. Like, I really do. I really enjoy that aspect of our culture, and trying to do the best I can with Black Dahlia Murder in those regards.
Yeah, album art is one of my favorite aspects of it because it's like you never know what band's gonna do next with the presentation of their album and how it ties into what they're doing.
Yeah, and it's like it's all gotten so competitive. I feel like there's barely any bad artwork anymore in extreme metal. You know, like there's so
Yeah.
many great artists out there now that like it's a challenge to keep the legacy going of good artwork that we've had. You know, sort of renaissance right now. It feels like
Yeah.
for metal work. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom's album reviews on Twitter says, one thing I've always wondered is how he comes up with such twisted lyrical content.
Man, I try to scare myself to a degree. I try to like think of the most villainous, dark-sided kind of approach I can, and a lot of it comes from classic death metal records. You know, Cannibal Corpse had huge influence on me. The kind of like 3 minute story song, comic book strip kind of song. Horror as a whole, like especially old horror movies, has a big influence on me. But also happenings in real life, man. Real life, gets pretty hairy sometimes. On the new record, the song "How Very Dead" is about being embalmed alive, and it's based on a happening out in Russia where a woman was shot full of formalin while she was still alive. And yeah, there's no shortage of violence in the world to kind of look to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of humans think of things that you think humans wouldn't be able to think of doing. You know what I mean? They just have that
Oh, for sure.
unpredictable imagination.
For sure. And I try to
Yeah,
apply that same like sick logic, I guess, to writing about it, you know?
yeah, that's great. Daltonk on Instagram says, "Hey Trevor, I'm really enjoying the singles off the new album. You think the tour in May with Testament will be cancelled due to the current state of things? Also, what are your favorite bands at the moment?"
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, the tour is not looking good at this point. You have Guys in Testament infected with the virus, of course, which really sucks. But Chuck Billy is on the up. But I think we'll all still be locked down, man. I think there won't be any tours across the board until at least the summer, as far as I can see, sadly. But also, my favorite bands going right now are Blood Incantation, Defeated Sanity. I think it's the best brutal death metal band in the world. I've been really liking the new Molested Divinity album, also brutal death. Necrophobic has been one of my favorite bands in recent years. Entombed, of course. I find myself circling back to the first Entombed records like more and more as I get older. I'm always keeping my ear to the ground and listening for new bands and checking out demo level bands and young bands on small labels, and I get a kick and a lot of fulfillment out of like being a hound for the underground.
Yeah. Well, what is your preferred method of finding new music?
I have a Facebook that has no friends. Like I have to keep it so I can run the band page. But what I do with it is follow every label, every band I like. It's all metal all the time. It's only like a constant influx of metal news, basically. And that's very helpful. I watch the blogs, the blogs always have new stuff as it's coming out. I use Metal Archives a lot. I think that's like a total blessing for finding new music. And like I'll put in like death metal 2020, and we'll look at the next few months of releases coming out and keep tabs on them and like make a list on my desktop of all these releases. And yeah, like once you get the jump on it and learn all the different labels and stuff, it's not that hard to like stay on the pulse.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I'm gonna butcher this name. They gave me the pronunciation. I lost the message. But Christian Leva from Instagram says, "Trevor, I'm really curious to know. I understand touring is a great thing. You're around great people all the time, always making new memories and having a fuck ton of fun. What's your best / most funniest tour memory?"
Man, I think the best was really the tour we did for Nocturnal, the Summer Slaughter tour. It was the first time where we headlined like a super big package like that. We were over Cryptopsy and Vader and Cataclysm and Aborted and Psychroptic and all these bands I love, So it was just a huge, huge moment in time for us to get that kind of respect and be at the top of that huge bill. And when you watch Majesty, the DVD, that's that tour. And you see how much fun we're having and how like it was just surreal, for us. I don't know the funniest thing that's happened on a tour. I don't know. That's a hard one to answer. There's a lot of really funny stuff that happens on tour, and we're very comedic kind of guys as it is, you
Mhm.
know.
Well, thanks for talking to me on the Noob Shoot. Would you like to quickly plug your stream for the video again, the Twitch stream? How can they see you?
Yeah. Follow me on Twitch. The name is Trevor Sternad. No space. That's STRNAD for the last name, if you didn't know. And yeah, come check me out. Ask me anything, and yeah, no holds barred, man.
All right, thank you so much for the talk. Now I'm going to play the single Verminous from the new album Verminous, and the fans can enjoy that. So have a good day.
Excellent, man. You too. Thanks so much.